How to catch carp on sweet corn. Sweet corn is probably the most readily available carp bait wide world. You can find it in every supermarket and it just works. It catches fish pretty much every time. Oh, and look what I have found in my garage. A bag of sweet corn. This particular bag is from Tesco. It is my local supermarket, but any sweet corn will do the job. Frozen within the hours of harvest to capture the peak of freshness. That's why the carp like it. That right there is gonna catch me some carp. And aside from the fact that it catches loads of carp, a great thing about sweet corn is that it's so cheap. You can afford to put lots of it in, you can afford to buy lots of it because it only costs about, well, that bag was £1 for a kilogram. That is incredible. And you can just stock up on it. I normally go to the supermarket and get it in bulk, so I'll go in and fill up a whole trolley full and they'll look at me like, is this guy all right? But I bring it home, put it all in my freezer, and then I've pretty much got bait for a year. That's why I like it. Anyway, that's enough talking. I'm going to tuck into my pizza, get some sleep, and then tomorrow morning, I'm gonna head to the pond. I'll go through the rigs, I'll go through the tackle, and we'll also try and catch some carp. I'll see you tomorrow. Well, it's pretty wet out, but it is mild. It was saying 10 degrees on the car, which is really good because that means the water will be warming up, and that is what carp like. First thing to do is bait up the spots. Also gonna put on my coat because it is raining hard and I don't want to get wet. Well, that's not how you put on a coat, mate. What am I trying to do? There we go. Right, now adjust appropriately. Let's go. So, first thing we're going to do is choose a couple of different spots on the pond and throw some corn in to try and attract the carp. Right, first spot is going to be right next to the van. You can actually see the bottom on most of this, it's quite clear, which is good because when the carp start feeding, I'll be able to see them. Might do it just before the drop off. Three handfuls of bait should be enough. And then we're going to move around and bait another spot up as well. This spot, you've got a really big snag in the water. They normally hold up in that, and I think a few handfuls of corn just on the edge of it could get the carp on the feed. Perfect. I think I'm going to bait up one more spot and then we'll get back to the van, tie up the rods and try and catch one. Let's look for one more spot to put some bait in. This could be good. There's loads of snags in the water there. I can actually see quite clearly in the water here as well. Three spots baited. Hopefully we can catch 3 carp. One from each spot. No way. I'm literally just walking back to the van to put the camera in after baiting up the other spots, and I see a carp on the first spot that I baited. I can actually see its tail. Oh man, that was super quick. There are 2 carp on the spot that I baited just next to the van. 2 of them, both feeding hard. I think we're gonna catch one. But first, I'm gonna go through the rig and the tackle that I'm using. I can sit in my van and do this because it is horribly wet outside and my camera was getting pretty wet. Starting with the rod, I'm using a 6 foot 2 pound test curve sawn off. This is perfect for the job. I'm not gonna need to cast very far. I can just lower the rigging in the edge. And these rods are super ideal. They fit in my van really easily, super quick to set up, and they're the perfect tools for the job. really small reel loaded with 12-pound line. I've then threaded on an inline lead. This one is 1 ounce. Again, I don't need to cast fast, so a 1 ounce lead is perfect for lowering in without spooking the fish. I've then tied on a size 8 swivel, and that tucks in to the back of the lead, which creates a bolt rig. Next up is the actual rig itself. Here is the actual rig. I have a size 6 Fang X hook with a simple hair rig and knotless knot to attach it. And then this rig is about 5 inches long, and I've done a loop in the other end, which helps me attach it to my swivel. And this is the rig I pretty much take everywhere for my carp fishing. Only thing I'd change really is the hook size and the length of hair dependent on the bait. So we attach the hook length to the lead by threading the loop through the swivel, opening out the loop, and then tucking the hook back in and then pulling tight. And that is secure on there, like so. And then lastly, we just got to put a bait on. There's a couple of tools you need to put a bait on a hair rig. That includes a baiting needle and bait stops. So we take the baiting needle, thread on as many pieces of corn as we want on the hair rig. This one I'll probably be able to fit 3 maybe. I normally try and choose the bigger, juicier grains of corn. I grab the loop in the hair, open it up, and then thread on the bait like that. And there's obviously the loop in the hair rig. I open that out, and to stop the bait coming off, I grab a bait stop and thread the bait stop into that loop. Oh gee, the rain's coming down now. And that secures the bait in place. And there we have it, a finished rig fishing with corn for carp. Let's put it to the test and try and catch one of these carp. Oh, there's 3 carp now. There's 3 of them on the spot feeding. Right, let's get out the van, drop the rig in, and actually try and catch one for the camera. Oh, let's go. Right, let's get this rig in. This can sometimes be the hardest bit because you've really got to try hard not to spook them. But I think what we're going to do is cast right over them and then bring it back like that, and then like so. Right, the rig is in and the carp didn't move off. And I'm going to be lazy today. Rod is going on the alarm so I can sit in my van and chill and eat food and not have to watch the rod. Perfect. Oh, and we might need a landing net if we are lucky enough to catch one. All set. Rod's out. There's carp on the spot. Can even put the window down so I can watch the rod. Ah, oh, perfect. Oh, and I can see a carp. I can see a carp watching carp from my window. This is exciting. Oh dear, that camera down there is going to break. It's the 3rd of March and it's only recently got mild. It's been colder winter, the carp have been super slow, they've been sat on the bottom, and personally I haven't caught anything really over the winter. But this mild weather, anything sort of above 10 degrees is enough to make these carp active and get them moving about again and ready for feeding. And I can really see that because I put that corn in and it literally took 15 minutes and they were straight on it. If I did that a few weeks ago when it was hovering around 0, that wouldn't have happened. So things are looking good, things are looking good. Come on, carp. Let's go and check the other spot as well. Okay, I see tails waving there. Maybe I need to move. In fact, I definitely need to move. fish have definitely moved off of this spot. I think they pretty much ate all the corn and didn't eat my hook bait. So frustrating. Anyway, just walked around to the other spot that I baited and I was seeing a few tails waving there. So the best thing to do now, even though it's pouring with rain and I kind of want to sit in my van, I'm going to move to the other spot, round the other side, drop a rig in there and hopefully we can get on that way. Right, let's turn this off. I'll see you later. "15 minutes later, still not a bite. I think I'm gonna have to resort to spot 3. I didn't want this to happen, but I can see fish down there right now. I can see their tails waving. I'm gonna grab my rod and do it. Oh, there's one coming in. I see one down there. Come on, he's feeding. You see him? He must be inches away from it now. Oh, there's 2 down there now. Yeah. We got one. Oh, that was epic. I watched it take the hook bait. Oh boy, that was so cool. Oh, he's jumping out the water. Oh, finally. Took some time. Took longer than I expected. Not a bad one either. One of the better ones in this lake. He's fighting hard. Come on. We got him. We got him in the net. There you have it. We caught one eventually. I baited 3 different spots in the margins and I fished the first one, they moved off the area, they spooked off. Second spot they did the same, they spooked off. Third spot, luckily, they were still there. Lowered the rig in and I was actually watching them as they were feeding. I'm gonna get the unhooking mat, get them on the bank and show you it because it is a beauty. On the sweet corn. Look at that. That's what did the trick. There we go, there's my prize for a morning's fishing with good old sweet corn, which proved to work once again. And I've gone and caught this beautiful linear. Check out those scales. Oh wow. Anyway, let's get him back in the water. What a fish. Well, that's the end. I was kind of hoping I'd catch a few more in the time that I had, but the fish were spooky today and it was a little bit trickier than expected. Anyway, hopefully you enjoyed watching. I'll see you soon.